Morning time now to bring you sports here on the AM show with me, Muftaro Nabila Abdullah. President John Dramani Mahama has urged the private sector to donate to the sports fund. According to him, the sports industry is a massive one that has the potential of transforming the economy of this country.
Ghana stands at the center of several global platforms. Our national football team, Black Stars, is preparing for its fifth FIFA World Cup appearance. Our women's soccer team, Black Queens, heads into continental competition with renewed credibility. We also prepare for the 2026 Commonwealth Games and the 2026 Summer Youth Olympics. These moments position Ghana before global audiences and investors in ways that few sectors can do. We've therefore established the Ghana Sports Fund, a transparent financing framework for grassroots development, school sports, athlete welfare, infrastructure modernization, and long-term talent pathways. No country achieves sporting excellence without deliberate funding systems. I invite corporate Ghana to view this not as charity, but as a partnership in national development. Government has created a framework. Let us build the systems.
Now let's go to an agency under the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. That is the National Sports Authority. Well, on Monday, there was a meeting between the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, the board, and the Director General of the authority. This follows media reports from Joyce Sports that the board directed Mr. Yao Ampofa-Ankra to revoke the appointment of 17 staff that were recruited without due process. In the meeting that happened on Monday, we understand that the minister asked the Director General to provide data of employees and employment under his leadership. A few weeks ago, when the media reports emerged that the board had asked him to do so, Mr. Yao Ampofa-Ankra, who had earlier denied, later confirmed, stating that those he recruited contributed to Ghana's qualification to the FIFA World Cup in the USA, Mexico, and Canada. He was also claimed to be reluctant to revoke the appointment. In fact, this was the exact message he dropped under a comment by Madam Linia Adi, who says she was wondering how you were able to employ 17 people without considering my people. And now Yao comes to say that, Madam, they all played a role in our qualification to the World Cup. Don't worry, we'll find a way. In fact, he's been working on finding the way, but it appears it has become quite difficult because he did not have clearance from the Public Sector Commission and the Finance Ministry to recruit. Joy Sports checked our sources within some departments of the National Sports Authority, and they had claimed that they have not made payments to any staff through the NSA accounts because they do not have clearance from the Finance Ministry. We are also made to understand that the Chief Operations Officer, whose office is not part of the administrative structures of the National Sports Authority, has been given up till Thursday, February 26, to leave his office because his office is an illegality. One person that was transferred from the headquarters of the National Sports Authority, which is the Chief Security, Thomas Komoji, he was transferred to the Boteman Sports Complex. And this facility is not under the National Sports Authority. When he reported to his new site, the managers of the facility asked him to go back because the Boteman Sports Complex is not under the NSA. So he's gone back, and currently, as we are made to understand, he's been made redundant because he does not have any office anymore at the National Sports Authority. Meanwhile, per information available to Joy Sports, there are about 121 staff at the headquarters of the National Sports Authority alone. We are also made to understand that the PA system at the Accra Sports Stadium is not functioning, and that during matches, the National Sports Authority is made to go and rent equipment. Also, another thing we are made to understand is that the Cape Coast Sports Stadium has had its light cut off for some time now because they owe ECG a little over 200,000 Ghana cedis. So people are asking the question, How are the people who were recruited, the 17 people recruited, how are they being paid? And per what we are made to understand, as some of the staff claim, they've not been paid through the NSA accounts. People are wondering how they've been paid since they were recruited last year. They've been in office for nearly a year plus now, since Yaw Pofankra was appointed Director General of the National Sports Authority. When the Chief Operation Officer leaves office on Thursday, the remaining 16 people are also expected to be issued letters revoking their appointment. And per what we have been made to understand, when the NSA gets clearance from the Public Sector Commission and the Finance Ministry to recruit, they are free to apply. However, recruitment is going to be merit-based. There are no guarantees that they will get appointment from the National Sports Authority. Next story, next story, next story. And now let me take you to the University of Ghana's stadium, where Rock Nation is currently organizing its first major sporting event in the country. My colleague Elon Bernard was there and has details in this report.
The 6-day competition, which began on Monday, February 23, at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, brought together 10 elite youth teams from 5 countries: Ghana, Cameroon, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and Guinea, all competing in a round-robin format. The tournament marks a significant step in the organization's recent expansion into Africa's football market. Grant Vich, Director of African Football Recruitment at Rock Nation Sports International, described the event as a statement of long-term intent.
We are hoping firstly that the players enjoy themselves. I think that's important. We also want the scouts to enjoy themselves and to see some talent, because at the end of the day, yes, it's important that we crown a winner in the first tournament, but I think the most important thing is that we want to make sure that these boys get an opportunity after this tournament to get an assessment in Europe or to get signed in Europe eventually. So the opportunities for the players is we've got 30 scouts here, so from the likes of Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, in Belgium, Genk, Royal Antwerp, in France, Lyon, and Monaco, Portugal, Sporting, Lisbon and Benfica. These are the level of clubs that are here. So what we want is that we want hopefully some of these players to attract interest from those clubs and then hopefully move to those clubs eventually when they're 18 years old. In Ghana, we're looking to have this yearly as a tournament, but throughout the year we want to have events, regional events in different countries. So for example, we'll have one maybe in Cote d'Ivoire with 20 Cote d'Ivoire teams and one in Cameroon with 20 Cameroonian teams. But the Rock Cup here, the Pan-African Rock Cup that we're hosting now, will be the culmination and the ultimate tournament that we'll have every single year in Ghana.
Sakibu Nu, CEO of Benap FC and the agency's representative in Ghana, said the partnership with Rock Nation is a strategic move aimed at nurturing and developing young talent across the country.
This is the first edition whereby I recommended we do something like this here to be able to, bring everybody together, clubs from, all over Africa, and also give Ghanaian opportunity to also, work with such an organization called Rock Nation, owned by Jay-Z. So I brought up the idea before we were finding ways to send players abroad and then how to also get this done as quickly as possible. And I think the organization is top. And then we have clubs like Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Benfica, all the big clubs you can think of in Europe. And being a first edition to have all these big clubs coming on board to help, to scout, I think this gives a very good signal that in our next edition we'll even do it more better.
Founded in 2013 by American rapper and businessman Jay-Z, Rock Nation Sports is a culture-driven talent agency representing athletes across football, American football, basketball, and baseball. Among its high-profile clients are Brazilian forward Vinicius Jr., Belgian midfielder Kevin De Bruyne, and Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku. The long-term ambition is to establish the Rock Cup as an annual fixture on the African youth football calendar while creating sustainable pathways for emerging talents to progress to the European game.
Now let's take a look at the fixtures of matches that are happening today and tomorrow in the UEFA Champions League as the playoffs wrap up. Real Madrid will be in action against Benfica. We'll also have Atletico Madrid coming against Club Brugge. Leverkusen will play Olympiacos. Inter will come against Bodo Glimt. And Newcastle United will play Karabakh. These are the fixtures for today. And tomorrow we'll bring the fixtures of matches that will be happening tomorrow. And also, just before we go, Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are facing each other once more, and this fight is happening on September 19. It has been officially announced and confirmed that these two are going to square off again, and this time around is going to be happening in New York. We've got details in our subsequent bulletins. We appreciate your company. The newspaper review is coming your way up next.